Hello, welcome to Rural Community Assistance Corporation's virtual Start, Grow, Revive Your Business Workshop Series, Module 3. My name is Christina Brownlee, and I am a Rural Development Specialist with RCAC. Before we begin, we would like to take a moment to recognize our funder, the U.S. Department of Commerce Minority Business Development Agency, for their generous support. The virtual SGR Workshop Roadmap provides an overview of the concepts and tools we'll cover as part of the workshop series. We'll check in on the roadmap during each pre-recorded module and online interactive session so we can see where we are, how far we've come, and what's coming up next. In Module 1, we talked about how every entrepreneur has their own strengths and challenges and provided a short tool to help you assess yours. In Module 2, we talked about reframing needs as being opportunities. And today, we will begin getting to know your customers. In this module, we will create a plan to check your answers to the Canvas questions in order to better get to know your customers. We will learn how to describe your products and services. We will feel ready to talk to customers about your ideas, and we will identify any tweaks to make in order to help with demand. In this module, we'll start by introducing the idea of canvassing your customers. We'll begin developing an elevator pitch. And finally, we will look at next steps in order to be prepared for the following live session.
Let's talk about testing or confirming demand for your product or service. We'll go over the what, why, and how of canvassing. Really, canvassing is getting to know your potential customers and gathering information from them to verify that they have a problem or a need that your business can solve, whether that's surveying them or just talking to them to get to know them. You should get to know your potential customers so you can confirm your answers to the Canvas questions and make sure there's demand for your idea. Think back to our coffee shop example. You can always guess which feature is most important, but what if you're wrong? What if you guess that the most important feature is having the highest quality ingredients, but the thing your customers care most about is having a lot of different flavors, or even a lot of different sugar-free flavors? This will help you figure out if you need to adjust your product or service to make sure it meets customers' needs, which will help your business be successful and sustainable long term. So, how do you actually canvass your customers? You need to decide what is most important to confirm. Then come up with a handful, say 5 to 7 questions to ask your customers. For example, if we think back to our coffee shop once again, a few questions I might ask are, do you drink coffee? If so, how many times a month do you buy coffee from a coffee shop? What would be the most important thing for a coffee shop to have? A, high quality ingredients. B, a lot of syrup options. C, a lot of sugar-free syrup options. Or D, a drive-through. I might also ask, how much would you expect to spend each time you buy a latte or a cappuccino? Once you have your questions prepared, go where the demand is and canvass your customers. Right now, it might be challenging to physically go somewhere to canvass to reach your potential customers, so you might consider a way to do it online. Using online polls is an easy way to ask your audience for instant feedback on just about anything, which is a great option to virtually canvass your startup or business expansion idea. There are a lot of options out there for online polling. A few that are pretty common and user-friendly include social media polling. So this would be platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Ultimately, Facebook's purpose is to connect people with their family and friends. People use Facebook to share photos, videos, and general updates on their lives. Instagram is used to share photos and videos. Twitter, on the other hand, is used to share ideas, real-time information, and trending news. Currently, on Facebook, you cannot create a poll on your personal timeline or newsfeed, but you can create a poll on your story, or you could create a post and ask people to comment in response to your question. If you're interested or need extra assistance to poll on one of these social media platforms, please don't hesitate to contact myself or Nick. Another great free option for online polling is SurveyMonkey. SurveyMonkey is an online survey platform that helps you measure and understand feedback. There's a free version and a paid version. And the free version has limited features such as you can create and send a survey with up to 10 questions. Once your survey is completed, you can get a link that you can send out over email or post online for responses. You can collect as many responses as you want, but you can only view a limited number of those responses before you're prompted to an upgraded paid account. When we're talking about using social media or SurveyMonkey to canvass demand, it's important to remember that depending on your startup or business expansion idea and who your potential customers are, canvassing your family, friends, and other people you interact with through social media platforms like Facebook may not be a good way to test demand or verify that your potential customers are willing to pay for your solution. This is especially true if those people aren't your potential customers. For example, if your potential customers are mostly international tourists, polling people who live in your community, Montana, or even the United States probably won't provide you the information you need. As you begin to get ready to canvass demand, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Nick if you need help developing survey questions or if you're having trouble figuring out the best way to reach your potential customers. You can also post your question or issue in the Facebook group. Before we move on, I have a few quick tips to improve your polls no matter which platform you're using. 1. Keep it short and simple. 2. Make it about your customer. Use polls to encourage your customers' engagement. Ask for their opinions and preferences. 3. If more than one of your poll questions asks people to respond using a rating scale, for example, where 1 means extremely dissatisfied and 5 means extremely satisfied, be sure to keep the scale you use consistent to avoid confusion.
Now we're going to talk about developing an elevator pitch, even if you don't have an elevator in your community. So what exactly is an elevator pitch? An elevator pitch is a clear and concise description of a business. It describes your customer's problem, how you solve the problem, and why your solution is worthwhile. It's also something you can use to market your product or service. Now we're going to look at a sample elevator pitch for a product called Tile. It's a small device that attaches to your keys. It connects or pairs with the Tile smartphone app, and it lets you hit a button on your smartphone to find your keys if you misplace them. Here we have a sample elevator pitch for Tile. Let's take a look and see if it has all of the elements of a good elevator pitch. I've created a new kind of device you can attach to your keychain. The Tile has Bluetooth, so you can pair it with your smartphone. Then, use your smartphone's location services to communicate the location of the Tile to the app. The tile is compatible with iOS devices running iOS 12 or newer and Android devices running Android 7.0 or newer. What did you hear? Is this pitch short? Well, yes, it is short. Is it clear? Maybe not so much. Does it describe a customer's need? No, it does not describe a customer's need. Does it identify how the product meets the need? Again, this one is not so clear. Does it tell us why the solution is worthwhile? Again, no, it does not. So how could you improve this elevator pitch? Let's take a minute to think about it. Now I'm going to present our improved elevator pitch. Have you ever been rushing to get out the door and realized you can't find your keys? If so, you're not alone. In fact, the average person misplaces their keys at least once a week. But I have the solution. I've created a low-cost device that can help find your keys in record time, making it easier for you to get out the door on busy mornings. Can I show you how it works? So what did you hear? Is the pitch short? Yep, it is short. Is it clear? Yes, it's clear as well. Does it describe a customer's need? Yes. Does it identify how the product meets the need? Yes. And does it tell why the solution is worthwhile? Yes, it does. As you can see, this improved elevator pitch meets all of the criteria of a good pitch.
Thanks, Nick. Now we're going to look at another sample elevator pitch for a handyman service. Super Handyman offers complete handyman services. We offer fix-it services for fences, windows, decks and patios, painting, weatherproofing, and floors. Super Handyman charges a reasonable $20 per hour to encourage people to hire us for basic household repairs they might otherwise try to do themselves or ignore until they become a bigger problem. When a problem is more serious, we will help you locate and pre-screen contractors. In this way, we develop a trust bond with customers, so when an issue comes up in the future, the customer will call us. Thanks to our reputation as a qualified, reasonably priced, and trusted service provider, we have developed a solid foundation of repeat customers. So, what did you hear? Is the pitch short? Not really. Is it clear? Kind of, but I think some of the elements get lost. Does it describe the customer's need? It does. Basic household repairs they might otherwise try to do themselves or ignore until they become a bigger problem. Does it identify how the product meets the need? It does. Super Handyman provides fix-it services and can help you locate and pre-screen contractors. Does it tell why the solution is worthwhile? It does. Super Handyman is qualified, reasonably priced, and trusted. So how could you improve this elevator pitch to make it shorter and clearer? Let's take a minute to think about it.
All right, time's up.
So while there's no right or wrong answer, here's one way that the Super Handyman pitch could be improved. Super Handyman offers fix-it services for basic household repairs people might otherwise try to do themselves or ignore until they become a bigger problem. We can also help you locate and pre-screen contractors for larger or more serious repairs so you know who to trust. Thanks to our reputation as a qualified, reasonably priced, and trusted service provider, we have developed a solid foundation of repeat customers. So, what did you hear this time? Is the pitch short? It's definitely shorter than it was last time, right? Is it clear? I think removing some of the extra information has made the pitch clearer and easier to understand. Does it describe the customer's need? It does. It still talks about basic household repairs people might otherwise try to do themselves or ignore until they become a bigger problem. Does it identify how the product meets the need? It does. Super Handyman provides fix-it services and can help you locate and pre-screen contractors. Does it tell why the solution is worthwhile? It does. It still talks about the fact that Super Handyman is qualified, reasonably priced, and trusted.
For next steps, we would like you to come up with between 5 and 7 questions you can ask your customers in order to check your answers to the Canvas questions. We would also like you to create a first draft of your own elevator pitch to share during the interactive session. And please don't worry, your pitch doesn't have to be perfect or in final form. And just as a reminder, we are here to support you. Please reach out to either Nick or Madison, depending on where you're located. And as always, thank you for participating in the virtual SGR workshop series. We look forward to connecting with you during your community's online interactive session. In the meantime, please feel free to post your thoughts and questions in your community's Facebook group. And as we come to a close, ask yourself if what you are doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. Many thanks, and see you during interactive session number 3.